Have you ever felt caught in a web of confusion in your relationships, like you're being pulled in two directions, unsure of where you truly stand? That tangled feeling could very well be the result of triangulation, a behavior that's far more common and more damaging than most people realize. Today, I'm here to break down how triangulation works, why it can wreak havoc on relationships, and most importantly, how you can recognize and rise above it. Triangulation is a manipulative tactic where one person often unintentionally creates a triangle by involving a third party in the dynamics of the relationships with someone else. For example, in families, one parent might confide in a child about their frustrations with the other parent, or in friendships, a friend might use you as a go-between for unresolved issues with someone else. Triangulation can often feel like being stuck in the middle and usually leaves everyone involved feeling emotionally drained, confused, or conflicted. In my early years as a resilience practitioner, I witnessed this behavior firsthand, both personally and professionally. One memorable experience was when a client came to me completely frustrated and feeling trapped. He was in the middle of a toxic triangulation between his parents, who constantly used him as a bridge to resolve their own marital issues. And my client felt torn and burdened with the weight of problems that were never meant for him to carry. He couldn't see a way out and were constantly being pulled in two directions. In working together, we focused on strategies to help him set healthy boundaries and to strengthen his emotional resilience. He began to see his role clearly, not as a mediator, but as an individual with the right to say no. Eventually, he was able to step out of the triangulation pattern, and the relief that he felt was life-changing for him. For those of you who may be resonating with this, you're not alone. And I'll be sharing exactly what steps you can take to protect yourself from similar situations. Now let's dig into why triangulation happens. This behavior is typically rooted in insecurity and a need for control. People may feel threatened by direct communication, so they bring in other people or third person to reinforce their point or to validate their feelings. And sometimes it's done subconsciously, stemming from unresolved childhood dynamics or learned behaviors. But the key here is that triangulation often keeps people from confronting their own emotions head on, and it shifts accountability away from the primary relationship dynamic. I had another client who was caught in the triangulation pattern with a close friend. This friend of hers frequently involved her in disputes with other people, creating tension and forcing her to take sides. My client found herself caught in this endless cycle, feeling like her loyalty was always being tested. After several sessions of focused resilience building and boundary setting work, she was able to have an honest conversation with her friend, emphasizing that she valued the relationship but would not take sides anymore. And this empowered her to maintain that friendship without feeling pressured or manipulated. You might be thinking, sure, you make it sound so simple, but setting boundaries is no easy task, especially if people have been using you like that for ages. Well, I have just the solution for you. My online course on boundaries will teach you in a couple of hours about all the different kinds of boundaries you need, why you need them, and how to assert them with confidence. Find the link in the description below and check it out for yourself. To break free from triangulation, you need to first recognize the signs, and these often include indirect communication, because rather than communicating directly, one person talks through another person, and they often use this to avoid confrontation. Another sign is pressure to take sides, when you feel forced to choose between two people, even if the issue doesn't directly involve you. And another sign is emotional manipulation, when one or both parties use their emotions against you, drawing sympathy or support from you without giving you a chance to see the full picture. Another way you can identify triangulation is through gossip or negative storytelling. When you frequently hear negative or biased stories about other people from someone who wants you to take their side, so they're creating an us versus them feeling. When you get constant rescue requests, let's say, for example, one person repeatedly seeks your help to rescue them from a conflict or a difficult situation with someone else, and that pulls you into the role of a mediator. When people shift allegiances also, like a person involved in the triangulation may act friendly or supportive towards others when it benefits them, but then they speak negatively about them to you, and that creates confusion and mistrust on your side. There are also isolation tactics that people use when you feel pressured to distance yourself from others, especially those that are involved in the triangulation, because you feel the need to show loyalty or solidarity to one of the people you are being triangulated. And finally, silent treatment or passive aggression is also a sign of triangulation sometimes. Communication may involve indirect tactics, such as withholding communication from one party to get you to intervene or to choose a side again. If you want to learn more about silent treatment and why it is actually emotional abuse, watch this video where I explain it. Not sure how to respond when you feel like giving someone the silent treatment yourself? In this video, I offer great alternatives. To gain a better understanding of passive-aggressive behavior, watch this video. And finally, one more sign of triangulation is unequal disclosure. When you're given selective information or only partial truths that create an imbalance in how you view the people that are involved, and that makes it easier for one person to control the narrative. Recognizing these signs can help you to understand when triangulation is at play, and that empowers you to step back, set your boundaries that protect your emotional well-being. Breaking free from triangulation involves courage and self-awareness, but it's entirely possible, and here is how you can do it. Set clear boundaries. Define what role you're willing to play in the dynamics, because you're not obligated to be a mediator or a peacekeeper for anybody else. Encourage direct communication. Remind the people involved that they need to address the issues directly. You could say something like, I care about both of you, but I think it would be best if you discuss this together by yourselves. You can also develop emotional resilience, very important. Recognize that you may feel conflicted or pressured, and that it's okay to feel this way. But building your resilience can help you to manage the emotional weight of such a situation. And finally, please seek support when it's needed. Sometimes triangulation can feel overwhelming, especially when it's deeply ingrained in family dynamics. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me so I can help you to see those patterns clearly, and I can also help you to develop the skills to step away from that triangle. Triangulation can be deeply ingrained in family, friendships, or even workplace dynamics. But the good news is you're not stuck in this pattern forever. You do have the power to set the boundaries and to encourage healthier ways of communicating. So remember, learning to step out of triangulation is about reclaiming your peace and respect within relationships. It may feel daunting at first, especially if you've been caught in this pattern for a long time, but I promise you, it's worth every effort. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more guidance on navigating complex emotional challenges. And as always, remember, you have the power to rise, to set boundaries, and to cultivate resilience every step of your way.